All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our interview today with Jessica Northey, CEO of AudioPress. And later on, Richard Kelsey will be joining us also. But let's get started. Jessica, why don't you tell us about yourself? Who is Jessica Northey?
Hey everybody, am I on or is it on you? Oh, it's been on me the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's
It's
been on you the
okay.
whole time. I did
I'm
that
us-
whole
I'm
intro.
not used to being on the other side of this interview thing. Okay, so hey everybody, I like as Sarah said, that was Sarah. Let me introduce Sarah now. She's AudioPress's audio engineer, and then Richard is AudioPress's owner and founder. So more about me. So the reason why Sarah and I decided to go ahead and do this interview is because it's like, well, we know all about these artists now, but what about the person interviewing them, and what's the passion and the reason behind why I do what I do? So I think I could probably start from just being my passion for music came from some like trials in my childhood. I think everybody has kind of those challenges when they're growing up and kind of trying to navigate the world because things happen. I used to move around from city to city a lot, from state to state. I lived all over the country, and it's given me this unique kind of experience to get along with people quickly that I know, and also from different walks of life because people are different even if they're the same race, they're different on different sides of the world. So um, that's been kind of challenging for me growing up. And then um, just also being an only child and then being a child of some from a divorced family. And then my mom becoming sick when I was 15 years old, I had to become her caregiver. So my point being is like, you have all these really hard things in life, and I'm having a lot of uncertainties, like how am I going to make new friends, and how am I going to take care of my mom when I barely know how to take care of myself? um, how am I, and like none of my friends can relate to that. So it's really unique being that young, and just the uncertainty of divorces and things like that. I'm just like, but the one constant thing in my life was music. So that's my point, was that when I was a kid, if there was, some kind of hard time going on, like I got really into like speed skating, like roller skating as a young kid. And then that led me to really being exposed to the energy of music. And then falling in love with I saw some older kids at the skating rink dancing, and I fell in love with it. Like it was a thing in the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s. Everybody was really into dance. I mean, I guess they kind of are now, but um, it was just more commonplace. Like everybody knew how to do the Roger Rabbit. So,
Yeah.
everybody knew how to do the Running Man. It was just like, and so like the choices I made from a childhood all the way up until this, even today, like I've always like built my life around like, okay, you have your life stuff, you have your hardships, but then like where do you find your joy? And mine's always been from dance. And so I learned how to dance, but I was always doing freestyle stuff, like freestyle hip hop and like modern jazz.
You're
Um,
so cool, Jessica. No.
I was cool, but now that I'm like much older now, like I was really rough growing up, and kind of got a couple of injuries, so I don't dance anymore. So that's the point. Is like I do kind of a little bit. If I really like a song, I'll start,
Yeah.
dancing in my living room.
You feel it, start moving. It's
Yeah,
natural.
if it's a good song, it's a good song if Jessica's dancing to it. Um,
Well, why don't you tell us about the skills? Like, it seems like whenever you catch a whim of, not a whim, but like you realize that you're interested in something, like you start really like diving into it and learning about it. And I know you have all these great skills that have really like put you in the position that you're in. So why don't you tell us about like about those skills and the different areas in the entertainment industry that you explored that really got you to where you are.
Okay, so that's an interesting question because my background is graphic design. So I've studied design since I was in high school, but I love photography as well. When I was in high school, I took photography when it was before digital. That kind of gives you an idea how old I am. But I loved it. It used to be an art because you'd have to actually really set up your shots because you only had like 24 pictures and then you had to change out the film. So it wasn't like this like shoot until you get something kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I really like the art of photography. And then I did end up learning digital photography just so I could learn how to work my camera. So the new cameras were different. Let's see. So I started when I was, oh my gosh, it was like I was a kid. You know, I think when I interview a lot of musicians, I hear the same thing where they started when they were a kid.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, my dad used to sell Apple Macintosh computers. And
Back in the day.
so, yeah, it was like the original like square tall
We
one.
all had them in elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I had one of those, and I thought, so it came with the games. It came with a mouse. It came with art program, like a little thing where you could draw.
Oh.
And I got in there and I opened it up and I was just drawing stuff and I was like, look at all these colors and shapes and what can I do with this stuff? Because I always thought it was really fascinating because when I was a little girl, my dad used to like email me, mail me letters. Oh my gosh.
Good night, Dad. And email.
He emailed them. I don't know. No, he sent them in the regular mail, but they were like the first computer graphics, you know. So he'd have like little graphics at the bottom, and I always loved that. I just thought, how cool is that? So when I got into middle school, um, I I took a drawing class, and I realized I actually can draw. Um, and then so my teacher was like, I was in 7th grade. He was like, if you really want to, you know, earn money with these skills, you probably should be a graphic designer because everything's moving to the computer.
Teachers for the win.
I know, and I was like, oh, I don't even know what that is, but it sounds cool because I like art.
Yeah. What art job? Yes.
You never know. Teachers really do affect their students because I was like, I don't know what that is, but I love art, so I'll just go with it, you know. So from then on, I always took like art classes and stuff, and I've always in the background loved music. So my background, so simultaneously while my career is going in graphic design, my nightlife, my social life is all around music. You know what I mean? Like I've always had this parallel thing where like I have the work thing that pays the bills, but then I have the joy in my life, which has always been around music.
Yeah.
So in the future, I'm trying to make this long story short, but I was really into the underground rave scene, underground like hip hop music in Atlanta. I grew up in Atlanta. So back in the late 90s, early 2000s is when I probably got more into the club scene because I was actually 21. I was like, because the underground rave scene in Atlanta, you could be all ages. So, and then being my mom was sick. Like she didn't care what I did. So I could do whatever I wanted. So I ended up like getting into this rave scene at a young age where people really were into dance then. So my skills got better, but I was never like, at that point, I was not trained professionally. You know what I mean? So my life wasn't going down like a professional dancer's route, but it was like, I love music because back before digital was really big, and I'd love to have a separate discussion about this, but basically when I was growing up, we didn't have MP3s. We had vinyl records. We had real music playing. So when I would go out and dance and hear the DJ, like the music coming out had a different vibration than it does today. So I felt like, well, maybe my interest in it went down, but I also correlate it exactly to like when the digital MP3s became more about being loud versus like having good quality sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the MP3, but it is what it is, right? We all listen to them now. um,
Unfortunately.
yeah, and so I just decided that when I got older, fast forward much into the future, and like where I'm kind of growing out of the going out dancing all the time thing, but it still was my passion. Like, how do I replace that? It was a really big struggle for me because I didn't being around the music industry, I knew how shady it could be, especially working for artist managers or working with them or just being around them as someone who was just like, I'm always like down to go out and do something. Um, like I got in a little bit into promoting for Moonshine Music when that's such a long time ago. But I didn't really like it. I was like, okay, how do I use the skills that I'm natural at to work with artists? And I tried to do graphic design for artists, like CD covers and such, but a lot of people, because of the digital age, a lot of people felt like they could do it themselves. So I didn't see that as my niche. Although that I do that today. I'll help people with their album covers and their flyers, but more so flyers. But I am really, I come from a family that's like military and business, and so they were really, really pushing me to go to business school. So my deal was like, okay, it's probably smart to learn business. I grew up working in advertising agencies. Um, and as an artist, I never understood the marketing side. I never really understood like what was the reasoning behind what we were designing. So I was, and then at the end of the day, I was like, well, I'd like to own my own design agency or be a freelancer, or be my own boss. So why not? Why not go learn some business? But I love Full Sail. I've always loved Full Sail University. So since I was 18, I decided instead of the art degree, because I already felt like that was a natural ability. I'd already had an associate's from the Art Institute of Atlanta. I've had a lot enough drawing classes, I was like, so I was like, maybe I should study business because that's something I can't teach myself. So but I was like, I'll do entertainment business, so I'm not stuck in music because I really love film, I love television, I love all these other things.
Just all more of the arts.
So I just thought, okay, I'll just do super general, just entertainment. But we did learn about music, and we did learn about I took a contracts and negotiation class, and we learned exactly what these artists go through with the contracts, with labels trying to take advantage of them, and how exactly they do that. It's really tricky, and it's all with wording. So I always tell people, hire an entertainment lawyer. Yeah, I was like, it's pretty rough. So I then I graduated, and I went out to LA and kind of just did an internship, but was trying to figure out really where I wanted to go. And I was already halfway in the middle of my master's degree for new media journalism at Full Sail. Mm-hmm. It was online, so I thought, I can handle going to LA while going to school online. And that's not a good idea. Just say finish school and then go to LA. That's my advice. But anyways, it was pretty rough there, but I pulled it off somehow. There's just a ton of opportunity in Los Angeles.
Definitely.
I just was hit. I think someone gave me this advice, and I think this is really great. I'm just going to pause because I think a lot of Full Sailors might end up watching this, is that know what you want to do 100%, because you'll have opportunities come up and people will try to pull you in different directions.
Yeah.
Because I had a large range of interests, because I was kind of didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket, but I had to make money, I had to do my internship, and I had to do school, and everybody wants to be a priority, and what was my priority at the end of the day was school. So I came back to Florida after it was just a summer internship, which I want to say was very exciting. I worked with famous YouTubers that did video gameplay. And I would try to like pitch like ideas for content, because basically nowadays YouTubers personalities are signed just like musicians are signed.
Yeah.
And we were a small agency that broke off from a bigger one called Machinima. They are a group of people who broke off. They're called Three Black Dot. They're still under like research and development, but they have like a great, I guess you say, list of like talent. And then what they would do is they match up advertisers with that channel if it made sense. Like if it was a mommy blogger, because they got into some other stuff eventually besides just video games, but it was like a mommy blogger. I think that's what they call them. You could match up an advertiser for like diapers and like have some diapers just sitting there. It's more like organically just, let's not have a commercial, but we're going to put our product in your stuff. And that's how it works. I would never, ever in a million years endorse a product unless they were paying me to do so. Because even when you want to first start out doing YouTube, I'm getting so off the topic, but I love helping people. So I'm like, I've seen people do this. Like, look, if you want to do makeup videos or whatever, that's fine. But don't say what product you're using unless they're paying you.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Because then you're already advertising for them. They don't have to pay you money about it.
Yeah, that's just not how the game's played. I'm just looking at my notes. I'm like, yeah, well, so I did say that. I talked about that. Okay.
So you were talking about how you got interested in the music industry and where you found your passion in that. And so how about we venture more towards how that led you to AudioPress? So where amongst your passion and your studies at Full Sail, how did you end up working for AudioPress?
Oh, that's a good question. So it really started off from my kind of like unknowingly starting out, because at Full Sail I was president of a club, and it kind of accidentally started doing artist showcases. And you're like, how do you accidentally start that? Oh my gosh, it was just like I wanted to do an open mic night. That's what I would call them, because there was a club on campus that was doing them, and then like what happens is that the people graduate and then the club kind of dies off. So I was like, well, I'll just kind of pick up where they left off, and because there was sort of this momentum going on campus. But I didn't, I started them, I don't know if we started on campus, but we started out at a cafe around the corner.
I think I went to one of those actually when I first started.
That's awesome. Yes, they turned out successful, but I had a formula because I was using what I was learning in school as a business, and I treated it like a business. So the marketing and my strategy, and I even had surveys, I did all this stuff, and it worked. I was like, okay, wow, okay. But in school, I did mess up like a lot. It was like a trial and error thing, but I felt safe. I always felt like I was in a safe environment to do that. Because if I messed up, it's like my reputation at Full Sail would be what? Like everybody would forget about it. Yeah. You know, like, oh, that's that girl. Yeah, you know, there was rumors, but I feel like with success, you always have rumors. I don't know why. It just kind of goes hand in hand. I think they call them haters. I don't know.
Oh, is that what haters are?
Yes. Make up stuff. I don't know. But I think success comes from passion. I mean, I just really wanted, I was passionate about being an entrepreneur and starting something myself, but I wanted to do something with music. And so I'd have like an open mic night. But what would happen is I didn't really realize this is what I was doing, but I was booking them ahead of time. I would be like, you're talented. I'm going to put you in this slot. I like your music. I'm going to put you in this slot. You know, this, and then like this genre matches well with this genre, and it's a nice transition of the lineup. And then so what would happen is I promoted as a open mic night, and people would show up and be like, oh, can I play? And I'm like, well, it's already full. all
But
the
it's
slots are
supposed to
full.
be an open mic night, so
I was like, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know. But then people were like, wow, your open mic nights are amazing.
so it's kind of like, what do you do? Like, the formula's already working. Why change
Yeah.
the thing?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's because I already like have a lineup. So it's really an artist showcase. But then some people were like, oh, I don't want to go to an open mic night because they usually suck. And I'm like, no, these don't suck. And I don't know. It was funny. So because of that, I had a lot of connections with people in Orlando that are musicians.
Uh-huh.
Because I was also like this event producer, um, I mostly worked with the artists and I didn't get to actually do any networking. Because when you're hosting an event, you're running around making sure everything is going well. And I didn't ever get the chance to like meet a lot of the students, but I met a lot of artists.
Yeah.
See how
Well, there's
that
a
was
lot of
like an
artists
accident?
at Full Sail too.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, there are. And I ended up like, if I knew about them, and they were talented, I would try to work with them. Like I was going on this thing where I'd go out and go scouting for my next person I wanted to have in my
Oh
showcase.
wow.
Yeah. Just around the local area. And I just felt like, wow, Full Sail has so many talented artists that it's like you get to see who's going to be successful in the future. It's like the best kept secret or something because before I was doing these, I met some friends at some artist showcases and on campus. I was just like, you're amazing. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're really good, I just have to tell you you're good. I don't know. It's like, that was so awesome. Like, yeah. So that's why I was saying it's kind of like an accident. And then I got offered to do an internship at a recording studio. So it was around artists, kind of could see like that recording process. I kind of knew a
So
little bit
really
about it.
your thought process was, okay, from performing, what's the next step to get these amazing artists to where they want to be and successful in their career?
Yeah, I wanted to know like all aspects of that process because I had been kind of thinking about artist management, but the thing about it for me is that I'm not very great at keeping track of someone. Like they call it like a babysitter, sort of. And I've tried it, and it's not. I don't know. I don't like that role. I think it comes from the fact that I was my mom's caregiver at a really young age. I don't like taking care of people. I'm just like, take care of yourself. Like, I don't know. Like, so when I found AudioPress, I was kind of like at the end of the internship at the recording studio. I don't believe an internship should go for a year. You know, I think you should learn and then something should happen.
Yeah.
You know, you should move on. You know, that's just me though. I'm constantly trying to always like improve and grow and learn. So I learned a lot about management there, though, about how a studio operates and how it literally can seem like a 24-hour thing if you got someone coming in the morning and then someone didn't leave the night before till 2 a.m., but you got to clean. I don't know. It's just
Preparing
like,
for the sessions.
yeah, really preparing for sessions, especially if they're, because the studio I worked with had artists sent in that were on Warner Brothers record label. They would come in and we'd have to have everything perfect.
Oh.
So there's so much to learn before you can actually even get to the step of actually working on music. And I was trying to figure out where I was fitting in because I was studying content. You know, I just had graduated from my master's degree at that point for multimedia or, well, new media journalism. So I was trying to figure out, okay, so I'm going to take my passion for music and my passion for multimedia, which is like video, photography, graphic design, writing.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of those things. So how do I put them with music? And music journalism came up because I was in the Grammy U Club on campus, and when you join Grammy U, you get to still be a member 2 years after your graduation. So although I was graduated, I still got to go to events, and they were having these workshops for younger kids about music journalism, and it just hit me like, that's what it's called. That's what it is. That's what I want to do. Like,
Finally a name.
yeah, I mean, it seems like the simplest thing, but it didn't really like hit me all at once, or it's just something I kind of grew into. So when the opportunity came from Full Sail Career Development, Richard actually was looking for someone to do content marketing. And I needed some experience. I mean, the truth is, you can't just graduate from a degree and then expect to go get a job doing that. I had to do the same thing with my bachelor's degree. I had to do an internship, and I did one after that. And I this I took this opportunity because even though it wasn't really paying me, it was just offering an experience.
Yeah.
I only recommend doing that if you have no experience at all, which I didn't outside of school. So I have this attitude of like, I think the Harvard students have this attitude is that when Harvard students graduate, they don't go out and look for a job, they create one. That is just my motto is like, okay, well, I don't have a job. I live in Florida. I don't want to go back to LA at this point in my life. Like San Francisco is too expensive. I'm just going to stay here in Florida, but how can I still like get this going? So I just was like, I'll just do it with AudioPress and we'll make this up as we go. And I started off doing interviews with a video, but the editing time and doing that weekly was really difficult. But I did learn a lot about lighting, sound, microphones. Like I've been learning so much over the past year and a half. I think I've been doing this. And I was doing this simultaneously with my full-time job as a graphic designer, stuff I already knew how to do before I went back to school. I just was like, I need to pay my bills, but this is my dreams, is music journalism. So let me just keep doing this for free and keep just telling other people's stories and doing the journalism because I'm passionate about it. And I feel like eventually the money will come. Eventually the trust will be built and I'll know enough people and we'll find like some great artists to work with. That's the hope. So, and we have had 3 so far that we've worked with. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like that's the step. Like if you're following your passion, like you're gonna become successful in it because because the passion is there. Like you can never just do something to do it. Like you have to want to do it, and you're putting your passion into your career, it's going to be successful. Like that's just.
And I have to add, I ended up getting a job as a multimedia content producer for my day job.
Yeah, we know that was a big accomplishment for you.
Yeah, it was like really exciting because I looked back at my degree. I mean, I look back, it's been 3 years since my internship in Los Angeles doing content development internship. So I was like, well, 3 years, that's not bad to actually achieve your goal. So I think you can set out a 5 or 10 year goal, but if you really do the baby steps to get there, you'll find yourself there sooner. Yeah. Okay, what's the next question?
So all right, let's really get into AudioPress and what it is that AudioPress does and your involvement in that.
Okay, so I guess being around AudioPress, let's see, I wrote some notes. I just want to make sure. Yeah, the thing is that so artists they give a gift. To me, they're giving music, it's a gift for the rest of us that don't know how to make music. Without music, without art, without sculptures, and I mean, our world would be a really boring place, right? Yeah, so, I mean, I can't imagine this world without music. So I want to support them. I want to make sure that they're taken care of. And the way that has been done in the past has been like pro bono stuff. Like you could probably hire, as a musician, you could hire a lawyer to like track over your royalty fees and such things like that. But you have no money, right? Because you're broke, because you just spent all your money on your new gear or your own marketing now, or paying a label back for the marketing that they did for you, or whatever. You find yourself broke a lot. So I'm just like, how do we turn this around? Because you want to be an entertainment lawyer, you want to work with artists. From what I understand, unless they're successful, you're going to end up doing it for free. So I just thought, okay, well, that's not, the system's sort of broken, in my opinion. Of course, people making millions of dollars off of artists don't agree with me, but I care more about the artists who are getting screwed over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are completely.
Yeah, they don't even know it. They're over there bragging how they got signed with a label, but I was like, ooh.
You don't even know what that means.
I hate to see that contract. Like if just for an example, if I could speak about from my internship, is that the reason why those YouTubers broke off from Machinima, and this is in the news, like it's old news, but it still happened, is Machinima made these kids who didn't know any better sign a contract for life. And they'd only give them like $5,000. So if you're like an 18-year-old kid and you're playing video games, and some company that's some badass company like Machinima is going to be like, oh, we're going to represent you, you're going to work with us, so here, just sign your life away.
Because then once you're in contract, like you have to follow up, you have to keep making material.
Yeah, usually they did end up, some of them got out of it because they called it predatory or something like that. I don't think Machinima does that anymore. But I think even if you're not in music, if you're doing anything and someone throws a contract in your face, you really got to ask yourself, like, okay, what's this contract doing for me? Or are they trying to get everything from me? And as a designer or whatever, I can't give legal advice. So everyone has to have their own entertainment lawyer. Definitely recommend that. But these things came up also because when some artists came to us, they wanted a website, but then they didn't know like what to put on it. They didn't know how to brand themselves. And then I see a lot of artists, like at Full Sail, they're learning music, and we're over here learning business. But we really need to come together and work together. But we come from two different worlds, but like the way we think, because from business perspective, it's like, this is how you're going to get the marketing. This is how you're going to get the fans. This is how you're going to get the attention. You've got to do this work. And then the artist has their way of, they're like, I don't really like websites, or I don't really like newsletters, and it's like, well, okay, well, then you're not going to get any, like, the business side isn't going to be there. So then they're like doing all this work, like, oh, here's my show, but then maybe only the 10 same people show up to all your shows, like, but you're not selling any music, and you're like, why? I don't know. It's like trying to,
it's good stuff. So why?
There's so many talented artists out there, and they're not selling music. They're not getting booked for like really big shows, and they don't know why. So AudioPress is that gap where we're gonna do the marketing and take care of that stuff for you, so you can just do your music. That's the ideal of it, but really got to trust what we're putting together and why. And don't pay attention to what your friends are saying, like everybody's on Snapchat, like that could be true, but there's other marketing avenues that you can use and utilize. Like, you don't have to just follow a trend. You can
some things you have to build up to also. Like, you're not going to get a huge following on Snapchat if nobody knows who you are. Like,
right, how do they find you, right? So if you're at a concert, so I see this mistake like so many times. I've sort of just like super motivated to help artists, because they'll have a show, and then they have nothing to like hand out. They're just like, buy my CD, and then people in the audience are like, but I need to go buy this coffee. Like, I don't know. They're just, everybody's like, you really have to understand that, like, say a person has $10 that week to spend on something that they want. Why should they buy your CD over like a video game or over a movie or over? You have to really understand that that's the way the economy is right now. And so you have to give them value.
Yeah.
You have to present value, and the value in it is like what you're going to give them in return as being your fan. And if you're not going to give them anything on social media, you're not going to interact with them, you're not going to get to know them, you might as well quit. This is the way the new music industry works.
It really is. And I feel like artists are really stubborn to that fact too. Like,
yes, they are. They think people just come to them like there's some kind of magnet. The only way the magnetism works is if you put yourself out there and you connect. Yeah, I've seen the mistake, and also they don't have like giveaways, like even the big guys like Trent Reznor, like his marketing genius, and his labels, they don't really agree with the way he does things. But we learned in school, like he used to do this. He would drop around like really funny areas, like in a bathroom stall. He would drop a thumb drive of all of his new songs. So you could, if you found it, you were lucky enough to have all his music for free, the new stuff.
Wow. I love that.
And then it built a buzz, and like people would talk about it. Oh, I found this, in the bathroom, everybody, it built it. You've got to do it in a different way, but you still need a hub, your website, and then you can market out from there. Because
you need a centralized location to bring everything back to you.
Yeah, because when you're calling out, oh, follow me on Twitter at Jessica Corinne, but it's spelled Coren. Did you get that?
Yeah.
No, we didn't get that, and I'm not even gonna try. Like, no, we're not gonna look you up, okay?
Too much effort. We're lazy.
We are. We're very lazy. That's what I'm saying. You gotta go. If we're over here, like, oh, should I get this? Should I get this? Oh, wait. You really got to catch someone's attention, and you don't have to do that by the way you look. Although a lot of artists do that, they go all out with the way they look, but then they don't give anything back to to the fans. And it's all about the fans, and this should be why you're doing it. And if you're doing it for any other reason, you're probably not going to be successful, because people are really savvy these days. They can tell a fake following from a real real one. And
if normal people can imagine, what the actual entertainment industry professionals,
they know. They all know. Yeah, I've worked with a couple A&R directors just through all this stuff I've been doing, and they've told me how to spot a fake number of views or fake followers. And it has everything to do with engagement. I went to the Playlist Live. Remember we went there? One of the panels I went to, I tried to record it. I think I got it recorded in a blog post, but he was just saying, like, he was an advisor for American Idol singers to see like who would win or whatever. He's like, well, how about instead of they came down to like 2 people, and whoever had not the most followers on Twitter, but they were following the most people. So,
really?
like a lot of people, so a lot of people are like, oh, I have all these followers, but I'm not going to follow anybody back because I'm too cool. I'm too cool for that. That's wrong. That's the wrong answer. You're not going to get, even at my job right today, I have to I thought about it. I was like, okay, I see the problem. Y'all aren't doing any engagement at all. You have like a whole list of unanswered emails.
Yeah.
And it's a big problem with Orlando. It's in another language, but but I was like, okay, I'm sort of seeing like you can get to a certain point in your social media without engagement, but then you'll do a plateau. You'll just even off. Yeah. The only way to keep going up is to actually talk with people. And so I try to do that with my own social media, but I don't really like doing it either, guys.
Oh yeah, I suck at social media.
It's like you got to talk to strangers. What? For
me, like a job too. You're like, I gotta post this.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an artist and if you have fans, and if you have little fan girls or fan boys, get one of them to be your social media intern.
Yeah, that's smart.
Get some help. Don't do it all yourself, but do it. But have it done.
Yes.
All right. I don't know if I answered your question, but.
Yeah. I mean, so basically, AudioPress is that middle ground. You know what I mean? Like, we want to help artists, really learn how to push themselves, and give them a website, give them branding tools, and a way to take that next step in being professional and taking their career seriously.
Right. The more you invest in yourself, the more return you're going to get. If
Exactly.
you're not going to invest in yourself, why should your fans?
Exactly.
So.
And I think it really just comes down, like what I've seen lately is just for people to admit that they don't really know what they're doing and they need a professional to step in there, like you, which is why we're having.
Yeah, there's a lot of, do-it-yourself stuff out there, and you could do that, but you'll find yourself spending, a whole day or 2 days on your website when you could have written a song instead.
Focus on your music and let the people who know what they're doing and far as in the industry do it for you. So, okay. Well, is Richard going to be joining this call? Haven't heard from him this morning, so I guess he's
do you show any viewers?
We had one viewer, but
I don't know. Did you email him?
I did, no response. So let's not worry about it then.
Let's see on my phone. No text. That's fine. I was just wanting to introduce him as the owner, and he's really good at explaining the business model, but it's okay. We'll catch him at another time. I just had some points I just wanted to say is like,
we're out there.
So this, I wanted to, I want to build a sense of community. Although, like, I'm in Orlando, we want to work with artists all over. But I started off with a club, and then I got introduced to some artists that we've worked with, like Ryan and Alexis. I knew them from before I even started with AudioPress, so we brought them in, and their websites look amazing. I think it's RyanMcKenzieMusic.com and AlexisKritsky.com. Yeah, just look up on AudioPress, you'll find it. Then I went to interviews, press events, and we found our team. So we have more than just me and Sarah and Richard. We have Teresa, and we have some new A&R directors that have come on board. So we've built the model where we'll work directly with A&Rs that have a roster of artists, and we'll see if we want to sign any of them. Right now, we haven't signed anyone. I'm really looking for artists that are able to sell their music. Oh, Richard said he's watching.
Yeah, I see that.
Do you see that? He's our one viewer. But as you're getting that together, I just wanted to say music it's a global language. The melodies can induce emotions, and I feel like it's important to really like bring that together and support that any way that I can. So we want to help musicians present their work to fans to gain success. So like I said, fans there's so much music out there, and there's so many movies and YouTube videos. Like, how are you going to get their attention? And that is how we're going to help you do that. And I do want to, I don't know if I'm talking out of turn, but I feel like we want to say, artists, you're going to own 100% of your songs. We're not going to ask you for any kind of rights to your music at all. Like, I think where you can find yourself successful is if you're with an indie label that is supporting you to empower you. Like, we're not gonna ask. The commission would just be based on stuff that we've helped you sell, like your music and your merchandise. So is Richard ready?
Yeah, I think he's okay. To give it a second, but he's gonna join us. He has a kind of bad connection.
Okay. Oh yeah, Richard's chiming in from Germany.
Yeah, so he's got a whole time and difference too.
Yeah, so I'm like
trying to fill the gap here.
Yeah, like you could show. Is he on?
Looks like Richard too with us. Hi, Richard.
You have a black face.
You turn around so the light's on your face.
Well, I'm like in the shadow or something, huh?
Yeah, if you face the there we go.
Yeah, I've been watching the whole time. I was the one visitor. Is
Much
that better?
better.
Yes.
I have the AudioPress shirt on.
Yes, those are new.
I
Yay.
can't wait to get mine.
Did you get the box yet? Did you get a package yet, Jessica?
Well, it had not delivered to my door, and I was like, oh, I
Oh,
should run down and check my mail, but
yeah.
I
Because I
didn't get
sent
to
it
do
off.
that.
I sent it off like was it last Friday or Saturday? I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was Memorial Day
Oh,
weekend.
okay. Yeah. Should be there any day now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Yeah.
Sarah, back to Sarah.
Yeah. Back to
Yeah,
Sarah.
well, actually, I want to redirect it to Richard. Richard, if you wouldn't mind explaining our AudioPress's business model and like what
Right.
everything more in detail of what we do.
Right. Well, since we first started with AudioPress, I mean, I guess it's like you said, Jessica. I think it's been a year and a half since we started this, or
Yeah.
a little more than that. We've gone through a couple of different yeah, models that we were discussing and going through. Because with artists, it's not like with regular web design. You can say here we have a finished price, or we can do this kind of monthly plan or whatever. And with artists, you have to kind of figure out what's best for them. And I guess that's probably the reason why we've been going through so many different different models. But I think the final model that we're at now is probably the best. We have one way is to go by it is to request a quote on. We have like a list of all of services that we offer. I think which partially Jessica has already explained. Anything that you website, music distribution, electronic press kit, different things that the artist of today needs. And so one way of going by it is just kind of going through what the artist needs and discussing that with them and coming up with a package for their current situation. And in the other version that we have, if they want to go that route for unlimited time, is that we want to offer them all these services and have like a commission kind of model where we're making money off with them. It's kind of like a record label, but in a way it's not, because it's taking this business model I've had for when I first went to wholesale in 2000. I think it was well, actually this business model has been around since 2008. So it's been around for 8 years. So yeah, it's a model where we work with the artist and well, it's all on the website to read.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically you're just saying like
It's not very actually it's actually not very complex, but it's just a new way to go by things, and it's a very modern way to go by things.
Well, do you want to show the website and kind of?
Yeah.
We could do a screen share. We could do screen sharing. I
Yeah.
mean, Sarah can do it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's pull up
Yeah. Go ahead.
audiopress.us.
Right.
Yeah, and then we could just kind of go through the website and
We can do
where
that.
people can find that info.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, let me screen share here.
I like your close up.
Okay, let's do. All right, desktop. Present to everyone here. Hi, Jessica, you're in the background.
Yeah.
I am screen sharing so everyone sees what's going on here in Sarah World. Here is audiopress.us.
Right.
So
basically, so what we have here on the first side is the if you scroll down a little bit, obviously, what's very important is that we offer custom web design. It's nothing, completely designed how they want it to look. If we scroll down some more, these are the artists that we've worked with in the past. when you click on the photos or on their names, you know, it clicks, you can, yeah, it goes to their website, for example. And
example of some of your work here.
right. Mm-hmm.
Menu bar. Very retro.
And if you scroll down some more, so these are the servers we've been talking about, and these are servers that we've compiled together over the last, you know, couple of months. Pretty much, you know, website distribution.
Yeah, basic
Licensing.
stuff. Also,
Right.
can you talk about artist helping? I really like how we put that
Excuse
together.
me?
The artist helping tab. That one.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
how
this is the
it's a little
actual,
different.
right. This is the actual approach that we're taking, is that, you know, music is very much, you know, has always been connected to fundraising, to, you know, important causes worldwide and local causes. I mean, in the last 10 or 20 years, bands like U2 or Coldplay or Muse, they have been, or Lenny Kravitz, one of their, you know, their major efforts is in their music is that they, you know, help support fundraisers from, you know, Amnesty or Greenpeace, and, you know, music and helping and fundraising, that has been such a connection there for a long time. So that's what we should, I think, you know, that's what an important aspect of AudioPress is, putting that in there and connecting music with helping, fundraising, you know, and this whole thing that you know, each life and you know, even, you know, nature and environment, that all is related, you know, you know, to having a, you know, a better world, I guess. So
Yeah.
so that's why we put that in. And what this is that, we're taking some of the revenue that the artist makes and putting it towards these funds. Okay, and each artist can actually pick who they want to donate to. They can even come up with their own fundraisers, or their fundraisers. You know, it could be like even in their hometown. That's what, it's open to them who they want to donate to. Okay,
Awesome.
that's why we have this kind of connection going on.
Okay. So, and what else about our
Yeah.
website we got over here? So.
Yeah. Well, you know, now here the model, the business model that I've discussed, I talked about a couple of minutes ago, is the artist shareholders model. If you go here, and I actually kind of redesigned this today as well.
That looks great.
And what this does is, the traditional model of record labels, that they give you, you know, you guys talked about contracts and how they get, you know, as little, they don't really get much out of it, is that what this does is that we have a contract with them with a limited, you know, minimum duration of 24 months. And of course, they would have to send demos to us that we, you know, evaluate and see if they're the right fit to AudioPress, and see their potential. And what we do there is we actually offer all these services. These are all included. And then what we take is, if you go down here, you can scroll down. So what we do with all the revenue is we split it. The artist, you know, from merchandise and music sales, it's split 4 ways, with the fundraisers, AudioPress, the artist, plus this new fourth partners, investors. So what we are looking for is investors that want to invest in the band, in the artist, and they become shareholders of this artist. And you can see the split here on royalties with licensing. It's 85% for the artist, and the rest is split AudioPress, shareholders, and fundraisers. Okay. And yeah, so that's pretty much what this business model is about. And I think 24 months for the beginning is pretty pretty fair. I mean, you need at least 2 years to to build up the band, to build up the following, and yeah. And the
Nice.
cool thing is, once an investor starts investing in an artist, they're going to automatically also spend more money and time in sponsoring the band, advertising the band, marketing the band, have want to increase their share, which automatically once
You're
share
kind of cutting up on us there, Richard. Can you repeat what you said?
oh, sorry. Yeah, can you hear me?
Not really. Let's try again.
Okay. Okay. I'm talking about the investor shares. Can you hear me?
Okay, better.
Yeah. So, like I said, if when when the investor their shares increase, it automatically makes the other shares of the fundraising and then the artist increase automatically, because it's all one revenue that's split by 4.
Yeah, and as it grows, as the artist
So,
grows and their
you guys
fan base grows, the shares grow, and it's just
right. Right. Really, it's a situation. It's a situation where nobody loses. It's a win-win situation for everybody. You have the fundraisers that are happy to have more funds for their cause. You have the investors that obviously are there for their investment. And the artist, of course, is a big benefit for them because they have somebody that's sponsoring them. And well, yeah, and AudioPress is, of course, part of the revenue too. But so, and the whole thing is, if it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't go good after those 2 years, nobody really lost anything. So,
true, true.
except time, of
Well,
course.
except for us. We did all this work.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's why we're being picky
so
about who we work with. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we want
And
to
like
make
I
sure
said, this
that
is
we
only an
don't.
option.
Yeah, it's just an option.
Yeah, it's only an option for the artist. They don't have to go this route. They can just go to the record label site page and just pick the services they need, and we consult with them and put together a package and make a reasonable price, and it's all good. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else that we want to share about our website that we feel like is important?
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
you went, well,
did you
the blog.
Yeah, of
the
course.
blog? Yeah, the blog is the most active part of this website.
This is where I live.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a certain part of it you
Music
want.
news is a great one. We try to post the press releases from the
Right.
electronic music industry. So you can come to our
Right.
website if you want to see the new music that's out.
Right.
It's really hard to keep up with new music, so we try to put these out to help people.
Right.
Will help myself too. It's really nice. I get to learn too. We get the notification.
Do you two?
People's
They're
newsletters to
the
know what's
PR.
coming out.
Oh, sorry. I would just say they're the PR agency that handles the Ultra Music Festival.
What about them?
They're the ones that send us these press releases.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll know a lot of stuff about the Ultra Music Festivals too. But I only report on the ones in Florida, really.
Yeah, thanks for now.
But anyways, so yeah, that's what that is. And then the interviews are with artists or industry pros. If you want to interview, if you're an artist and you want an interview, because you can request.
Yeah, these are some of the ones we've done recently that went really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are good for marketing for the artists, so they can share this and let their fans.
Yeah, these are ones. Some of them are podcasts.
Right.
But this is before we went live with Google Hangouts, so we're hoping that people go to our YouTube. Will find us on our YouTube. But in the past, you can see some of this stuff. There's some really great advice in there. I'm always trying to drop some advice, even if you're like, oh, I'm an artist, why would I want to watch an artist interview? Well, most of the time you can learn something from it.
True. Very true.
What do you two think about how to utilize Facebook Live? Do you see anything?
I think if we actually went to artist shows, like if we had an artist shareholder, I would, and if they were local to go out to like their events and support them in that way for their social media, stuff like that. For us, it's probably nothing. This is the only thing live that I want to do.
Yeah,
we don't have a lot of viewers live right now, but I'm hoping by being consistent, we can get some of that going. And we have gone a really long time today, but lots of information in this interview.
Yeah, I feel like this was worth it going through, so everyone can really see.
Yeah.
But let's actually kind of wrap things up. I think that would be a good stopping point.
Okay.
All right.
Was Richard trying to say something? He's breaking up a little bit.
Were you trying to say something, Richard?
You guys sound like robots. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Huh?
Go ahead. I was just going to say thanks for joining us.
No, what was I going to say? Well, we have, the good thing is that the videos are recorded, so we have them, on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. All of it. You can find all the interviews on YouTube. I do want to say to sign off. I have a sign off thing I want to say.
Sign us off.
Is it on me?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we sign off, we're going to say, what's the point? How can you help AudioPress? If you're liking what you're seeing here and you want to help us, I have like 4 suggestions. So you can follow us on our social media and share it. That's always very helpful. Because when we want to get into media events, they look at our social media numbers, as well as the website hits. So the more we can get traffic, the better. Also, let us know what who your favorite indie artist is. If you have you love this certain musician, but they're not getting signed, they're not getting momentum, send them over to us. Let's see if we can help them. And then we are looking for business investors. We kind of already talked about that, who want to invest in artists. And we're hiring experienced A&R directors. Anything else, Richard?
I
think that's it.
No, that was a good summary. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, I guess I kind of wanted to ask you too if you had any questions about the model, but I guess we can.
I think that explained a lot. I think explaining it with the visual there kind of.
It'll be really good for people watching, later on YouTube.
Well, I think because it's so unique and so new, it's people will get used to it after a while.
Yeah, but it's the first of its kind, so you kind of got to explain it,
Right. So it's more about our marketing right now is more about educating the artist.
Really.
About what we do versus because we've talked about doing traditional marketing where we put banner ads in like Orlando Weekly or whatever, but we were like, well, let's get this. Maybe we need to make a video or something that really explains it better, because sometimes it's hard to just pick up on something.
Right.
Yeah. So we have we have our own marketing coming, but.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
just kind of Richard. It was great being able to talk about AudioPress and listen to Jessica's story and how she got involved. So just remember, everybody, that you can check us out at our website, audiopress.us. And, of course, we're on Instagram, Twitter, Google Plus is probably where some people might be watching us now. And we look forward to working with any artists. You know how to get in touch with us. So thanks. And say bye, everybody. Bye.
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 Thank you.